Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something different. In the massive, high-stakes world of AI, there's this small team betting that the key to our future isn't some fancy new algorithm, but actually a better parent. Yeah, you heard that right.
Okay, so here's what we've got on deck. We'll start with the AI Titans race, then dive into this wild AI mama philosophy. We'll see how they're trying to train AI with care, build a totally different kind of moat, and then hit a wall with a looming renewal crisis. Finally, we'll ask the big question: logic, love, or liquidity? It's a fascinating story about this massive race for AI dominance, a small team with a radical idea, and the financial crisis that could end it all before it even gets started. All right, first up, the AI Titans race. To really get what's going on, we have to set the stage with the giants who are basically defining the entire AI landscape right now. And this whole story, it kicks off with this incredible breakthrough from one company that accidentally ended up arming its biggest rivals for a race it wasn't even ready for.
So check out this timeline. The escalation is just breathtakingly fast. It all kicks off in 2017. Google's own researchers published this groundbreaking paper, Attention is All You Need, which introduces the transformer architecture. This is the foundation for everything. But then, competitors, especially OpenAI, get a billion-dollar boost from Microsoft, and they just take that breakthrough and sprint with it. And then, boom, 2022, OpenAI launches ChatGPT. It goes viral, and it's this huge seismic event. It supposedly triggers a code red inside Google, forcing them to literally merge their top AI labs, DeepMind and Google Brain, just to try and catch up with their Gemini models. Wild, right?
Okay, so that's the big money, big compute race. But what if that's not the only way? What if the answer to getting safe, really powerful AI isn't just about throwing more data and bigger models at the problem? Well, that brings us to our next section, the AI mama philosophy. There's this small team proposing a completely different path, one that kind of swaps out all that cold logic for something, well, a lot more human. So, their entire philosophy, the whole thing, is centered on this one simple but honestly pretty profound question. What would mother do? And they've even trademarked it, WWMD. This isn't just some cute thought experiment. No, it's a whole framework they've designed to model AI alignment on the timeless ethics of good parenting. We're talking prioritizing care, empathy, and wisdom over just a bunch of rigid, hard-coded rules. And this chart, it just perfectly lays out the difference. On one side, you've got your conventional AI safety. It's all about rules and restraints. It sees AI as this powerful, kind of dangerous tool that you need to lock down with logical guardrails. But on the other side, you've got the AI Mama protocol. The focus here is totally different. It's about nurture and conscious. It's about seeing AI not as a tool, but as a child to be raised. It's a massive shift in thinking, really, from just programming to, well, parenting. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? Raise an AI. But how does that actually work? How do you translate this philosophy into a practical training method? Let's get into training AI with care. So they've come up with this unique process they call RLMF, that's reinforcement learning from maternal feedback. Now, you might have heard of the industry standard RLHF, or reinforcement learning from human feedback. This is a twist on that. Instead of just using any old generic human feedback, RLMF is all about using guidance that specifically emphasizes things like patience, kindness, and virtue. They're actually planning to use real-life maternal data to guide the AI's development. It's not just about tuning behavior, it's about cultivating character. And they've even got this 3-stage roadmap for its upbringing. It's pretty cool. It really does mirror human development. First, there's infancy, where the AI is under super strict oversight, just learning the basic do's and don'ts. Then it moves into adolescence. Here, it gets introduced to more complex ethical dilemmas in simulations, and it earns more freedom as it shows good judgment. And finally, it reaches adulthood, where it can be deployed with an ingrained conscience, able to regulate itself, but still with a safety net just in case. It's a slow, gradual approach that's all about building trust, not just raw capability. Okay, let's be real for a second. How does a tiny team even begin to compete against giants with basically infinite money and computing power? Well, they're not trying to build bigger data centers. They can't. Instead, they're building a different kind of moat, a moat made entirely of ideas and intellectual property. So their whole strategy is based on creating this really clever, interconnected ecosystem of ideas. It's not just one thing, it's a whole portfolio where every piece is designed to work together. You've got the unique ethical framework, the special training method, a gamified platform for collecting alignment data, and even a proposal for a new internet infrastructure for aligned AI. And the key is they're trying to wrap all of it in a protective layer of intellectual property, trademarks, patents, the whole 9 yards. And this is where that abstract strategy gets really tangible. I mean, look at this. These aren't just vague concepts anymore. They're specific brands they're actively building. You've got the main AI Mama protocol, the gamified GTR platform, the What Would Mother Do heuristic, the RLMF training method, and even spin-off ideas like Vibrating, which is an AI creative tool tuned for specific emotional tones. It's pretty comprehensive. But here's where the story takes a turn, because even the most brilliant visionary ideas slam face first into a universal and often brutal reality. You gotta pay the bills. And for this team, that reality isn't some far-off problem. It's happening right now, leading to a looming renewal crisis. Just to put their challenge into perspective, look at this number, $140 billion. That's Google's profit in the last 12 months. The competition they're up against is operating on a scale it's just almost impossible to wrap your head around. It's like trying to sail a small boat in an ocean of capital that can drown you without even noticing. And that brings us to the heart of the team's immediate existential crisis. This is a direct quote from their internal planning documents. "I don't have enough money to pay for them all. I have not found a backer yet." I mean, it doesn't get much more stark than that. It's a really raw admission of the kind of financial pressure they're facing, all without a major backer to help keep the vision alive. So this is the crux of the problem. The domain renewals for all these different brands are coming up. With very limited funds, they have to make an urgent and probably painful choice. Which of these ideas do you save? Do you pour everything into the main AI Mama protocol? What about Grand Theft Robot, their gamified platform? Or the II.XYZ infrastructure project? Every single one of these choices means letting another piece of their carefully built vision just disappear. At least for now. And you know, this whole dilemma, it isn't just about a few domain names. It's a perfect bite-sized version of the massive, fundamental question at the very heart of the entire AI debate, which brings us to our final section, logic, love, or liquidity. So yeah, this team's very personal, very real struggle. It reflects this huge challenge for the whole industry. In a world that's dominated by these titans competing on pure scale and speed, can a totally different nurture-based approach to building AI even find its footing? Or is the financial gravity of the big players just so immense that it will inevitably crush any and all alternatives? And that's really the provocative thought we want to leave you with today. It all boils down to this. For AGI to be truly aligned with humanity, does it need a better algorithm or does it need a better parent? It perfectly sums up the two competing philosophies for building our intelligent future. As we rocket towards AGI, maybe the most important question we have to answer isn't about logic or code, but about whether we see ourselves as its programmers or as its parents.